Hi YouTube. This video is for anybody who does not know what they're doing in chess but wants to look like they know what they're doing, slash anybody who doesn't have a lot of money but wants to look like they have a lot of money. So I went thrift shopping the other day and I picked up a mirror that was $2.50. It was only $2.50, and I'm going to make it into a really nice looking chessboard in this video. Okay, I watched the Queen's Gambit. I learned how to play chess for 3 days, and I'm just not good. I'm not good at all. But if I have something like my own chessboard, I bring it to my friend's house. I got the home field advantage, and maybe it'll go a little bit better for me. I'm not sure yet. I will give you updates on that. But today, I am going to be making the board part of this project. Stay tuned for part 2, where I will make some pieces for it, okay? So let's just jump into it. Alright, so here I am taking off the frame from the mirror. Now, this turned out to be way harder than I anticipated. It is pretty stuck on there. You can see me removing the little, whatever you call that, caulk around the edges, and this is when I found these staples down here. Now, these staples are absolutely ridiculous. I put together a little montage for you. It's about 45 minutes of me trying to take out the first staple. You can see I'm struggling a whole lot. I got little needle nose pliers, and it really did not go very well at all. These little buggers are in there pretty tight. So once I finally got that out, oh, look at that. Oh. There you go. Once I finally got that out, I could take off the frame. So I just yank it a little bit. And I'm being super ginger right now because if this thing breaks, I'm down 2 McChickens and I can't afford that. So thank God it's in good shape. You hear my little sigh of relief over there. I'm now taking out the contact paper, and the contact paper is like a big sticker. I'm going to use it to mask off the areas that I don't want to get any stain on. So I'm cutting along these little grid lines, and I'm using them to cut out 1.5 inch squares. Now I'm using an X-Acto knife and a ruler because I want it to be really exact. You could also just use scissors or anything like that. Works fine. I just want to keep it as exact as possible because this pays off later on in the process if it's as exact as you possibly can make it. This little guy is called a caliper, and I'm using the caliper to measure in from the edges 1 inch. Now I'm going to do that a couple times along the length of it, and then I'm going to take a ruler and just make a line across 1 inch. This is my border between where the chess board, like the checkers, are going to end and where my clean, not stained border is going to start. Oh, look at that. You also get a beautiful little shot of my focusing face over here. It's looking really good. Looks like I am focusing really hard right there. Nice job, Mike. So here I am doing all the other sides, and after this we can get down to the checkers. Now I've peeled off the paper side of the contact paper, and I'm just left with this little sticker, and I showed you the whole entire clip of this because I really did take this long on every single square. Now I want to make sure that it's perfectly lined up. This is probably the easiest one. It's right in the corner. I put down each side individually and I stretch it out, and I make sure that there are no bubbles in it, and I make sure that it is right up against that tape line. Now you'll see later that didn't totally work out according to plan, but it worked out pretty well. So this part is pretty straightforward. It's just rinse and repeat. I'm making sure that the edges of each square are touching exactly right up against each other. You'll see in a minute that I'll use an X-Acto blade and a ruler to sometimes go back and just straighten things up that are just really far off. You can be as perfect as possible. It's probably going to happen. You'll see that I'll also use, right now I'm using tape on the edges to try to make sure that I don't get any bleed into the edges. Again, that did not work, but I tried my best. Alright, so next I'll be breaking out the etching goo. This stuff you can get at Michael's, at Hyatt's, any art supply shop. I'm just smearing this onto each of the bare parts of the mirror. I don't really care about getting it on any of my taped off spots. And I'm just dabbing it on. I'm very aware that it's not going to be a solid etching. It'll kind of be marbly and stuff like that, and I'm totally fine with that. That's what I'm going for. So you can see that I'm rinsing it off after 8 minutes of keeping it on. I think that's what it said to do. After that, I am taking it back over to the table, and I am going to remove all the little stickers. And this is the moment of truth. We're taking a look at what it looks like pretty much all the way done. I'm going to do one last step to it, but I'm removing the stickers, and I'm noticing that the edges did not work out the way that I wanted them to, which is kind of a bummer, but you know, we're gonna rock with it. We're gonna keep moving. But I will say at this point, I was getting a little giddy. It looks pretty nice. It's a little dull, so this next step is going to be to kind of liven it up a little bit. These etched parts are supposed to be the white squares on a chessboard, so I'm going through with some acrylic paint, and I'm just kind of spreading that on. Now, what I'm hoping to do is to kind of rough it out with just a damp paper towel. I'm just trying to take it off, but I'm trying to leave it within the etched sections. Now, I don't want it to be perfect, and it actually turned out not to be very perfect at all, which actually really worked out for me. And here I am just finishing up doing that, and I don't know what else to say. I mean, I'm totally out of things, and I have more footage, so I'm just gonna let it rock. Alright, so that's pretty much it. Before I hit you guys with a little bit of B-roll of the end product, I just want to shout out my channel, which is going to start to grow a little bit. This is obviously my first video. In the future, I have this project behind me that will be going up. I have, like I said before, the chess pieces that will be coming up in, I'd say, let's not overpromise it, it's my first video, but I will say like a week or 2 weeks or something like that. If anybody sees it in that time, if you're that one person that watches this video, please stay tuned. It's gonna be a good video, and maybe consider liking, maybe consider disliking. Honestly, if you let me know what you think of this video, it would really help me out moving forward. If you liked it or didn't like it, I don't care, just let me know. If you, by any chance, if you're somebody out here watching this video and you want to remake this project, please let me see what it looks like. I want maybe pictures, just let me know if it worked out well for you. Hopefully I gave you good enough instructions where you could do it on your own. Alright, enough of me rambling. Let's get into the final product.